Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't had a chance to watch my introductory video, stop this video, go back to it, watch it, subscribe, hit that like button, and you'll know what this channel is going to be all about. This is barely my second video, and just for honesty's sake, all of this is unscripted. I am really flying off the seat of my pants, not literally, but I have no script. I'm improvising everything as I go. So please bear with me. Once again, I do not have professional filming equipment, nor do I have professional editing software. So it's going to be very crude for the next few months up until I get back to work and start saving up money and this channel can grow. But it'll only grow with your guys' support. So please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and let's get on with the show. So today, you guessed it, we're talking about new era caps. So I first want to start off just with how I really first got into collecting hats. So as a little kid, played a little baseball, wore baseball caps all the time, whether it was for the team that I played for, which was various teams from season to season. But mostly I was wearing caps of teams that I loved in the MLB. Obviously, you see right here, I'm a huge Angels fan, but growing up, I was also a Atlanta Braves fan and a Montreal Expos fan. So I, started collecting those hats, even though they weren't new era caps. I got them from a sports shop that had a facility that had indoor soccer, had batting cages, had pitching cages as well. My dad bought me my first Montreal Expos hat and my first Toronto Blue Jays hat. They were, they weren't the greatest quality. They were trucker hats, but I adored them and I loved them. I loved representing the teams and the players that I really loved. My mom would go to swap meets to buy me knockoff jerseys, and as a little kid, you don't care, if it's the authentic thing. It's like, wow, I have jerseys that I love and that actually look good. So that's kind of where it started. And when it came to the actual series collecting, it started about 3 years ago. But my first new era fitted 5150, 5150. Sorry, I keep on getting the numbers wrong. It's 5950. I got some other numbers stuck in my head right now. But anyways, my first 5950 was actually a Lancaster Jethawks fitted hat. And if you guys don't know who the Lancaster Jethawks are, they're a single A team of, I don't know who they're affiliated with, but at that time it was the Boston Red Sox. And so my dad took me to my first minor league game out in Lancaster and bought me a hat. It was super cheap. Unfortunately, I don't have it. It's crushed or burnt or some dog ate it or something like that. But it's completely destroyed by this point because I had gotten it about 12 years ago. But it wasn't until I had my first big boy job that I was able to really invest in and collect a lot of these hats that I still possess today. And I just wanted to show you a few of the hats that I really do like. First and foremost, I think this 2019 Angels spring training hat is really cool. You have the Arizona spring training cactus, they call it the Cactus League emblem right there. This is the first time and the only time that they've used this logo. The new spring training hat utilizes a different logo, which I'll show you right here. Not exactly one of my favorite hats. As many of you know who are baseball fans, you have the logo within the logo, which, for some teams it works. Some others, the Angels, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. But as an Angels fan, I was like, I gotta have the hat because in the back, instead of having the logo on the side of the Cactus League, you had the logo in the back wrapping around the Batterman logo of the MLB. And as you can see here, I got Anthony Rendon's signature and number stitched and Shohei Ohtani's in Japanese. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, definitely this is one of my favorite hats. It's a It's a very good fit. I'm normally a 701 force when it comes to the 5950s, but usually the spring training hats are very comfortable. I mean, obviously I've had this hat for more than a year, so I've really worked in this hat, and it's very comfortable. Try not to wear it uh, too much. If you can, see the. I know the lighting's pretty bad, but this had the bill is a little bit more. The colors faded a little bit because I've worn it a lot out in the sun. As many of you, as many of the people who know me, work with kids with autism, so we're outside a lot and doing activities outside. So if you have the chance, there is a special type of spray that you can get that helps preserve the color. Fortunately, I do not have it. The only can that I had it ran out a long time ago, and I haven't bothered to buy it since. But anyways, yeah, when it comes to the 5950 hats, it's really up to your own preference. You can have, a hat that's very tight on the head if that's what you prefer. You can have it something a little bit more looser, and for some people, they like to bend the bill of the hat. I tend to not do it too much depending on the hat. This one I have it a little bit bent because it just looks pretty good like that. Most of the time I have the brim of the hat just completely flat. But anyways, another one of my favorites is this Boston Braves snapback. This is a 950 is what they call their snapbacks. And you can see that's the old school Boston Braves logo. You have the original B. I also have if I can find it really quick, oh, here it is. I also have another Boston Braves hat. This is a dad hat, also made by New Era. So most of my hats, by the way, most of my hats are exclusively New Era. I do have a few that are Mitchell & Ness in 47, but I tend to just be almost exclusively New Era. They just make the best hats, best quality anyway. Anyways, if you notice right here, this is the original, logo of the team has on the side. This was normally on the arm. This was the arm patch, but for this hat, they have it right there. And I remember the first time I saw this hat, it was at a store called Fans. And for one of my next videos, I'm not sure if it's going to be the next one or a couple of ones later, but I'm going to be talking about different outlets of where you can buy your hats. But anyways, Fans had this hat. Didn't know what it was. I originally thought it was a Chicago Blackhawks hat, B for Blackhawks. And I was just like, I'm not a Blackhawks fan, but that logo looks really sick. And, kind of ignored it for a while. And then I went to that store about a few months later, and I asked the cashier. It's like, hey, I saw this snapback. It was really cool. It had the head of an Indian on it. I wasn't sure what team it was, and he asked another guy that was working with him. He was like, oh, that is a Boston Braves hat. I'm like, Boston Braves, what the heck? So luckily enough, it was still there. Bought it. Been wearing it ever since. It's a pretty cool hat. Once again, with the snapbacks, you can tailor it to whatever size feels comfortable. Usually when it comes to dad hats and snapbacks, I tend to change the size depending on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I want a little bit more head pressure, and I don't want the hat to be moving too much. Usually on a hot day, I like it a little bit more looser, or especially if I'm wearing it backwards, I want it a little bit more looser so it doesn't leave an indentation on my ugly little forehead there. But anyways, one of my favorite hats so far. Speaking of, the Montreal Expos, boom. Originally they were, it was an all blue cap with the red and the white logo, but I found a really cool all red cap of the Montreal Expos, and it was just more out of nostalgia's sake. I mean, I still like the Expos, even though they're not a team anymore, but this one is actually a 7-1 ace, which is really surprising because it fits almost exactly like a 7-1 fourth. Reason being, a lot of people don't really know this, but each and every one of these new era hats, whether it's dad hat, whether it's the snapbacks, whether it's the fitted hats, or even the stretch. I have a couple of stretched out hats. They're all handmade, and so depending on the person who's tailoring the hat, some um, some hats fit better than others depending on the size. And so for this one, the 7 1/8 fits a lot better. And I'll give you another example of a hat being a different size fitting better. So this is an Atlanta Braves batting practice hat from 2018, and so you probably can't see it, but it's definitely a different type of material. It's almost like a windbreaker type of material. So when I saw this at Lids, I put on a 7 1/4, and it was extremely tight, really really tight, and I was just like, oh man, like this is gonna make my brain explode on my ears. And so I put the hat back and I saw there was a size bigger, 7 3/8, which is the size right after 7 1/4. And I tried it on and I was like, oh wow, that feels a lot better, a lot better. And so I ended up getting the hat. It was on sale for $20, and I wouldn't say it was one of my favorites, but it's definitely a really good find for $20. I'll go through a couple more hats before I end the video. So, online, there's a place called Hat Club, and I will be talking about them in another video about the different outlets of where you can buy your hats. But Hat Club has exclusive hats that they customize depending on the team. But they're constantly, dropping new and really cool looking hats. And one of them is this Inland Empire 66ers hat. They're another single A team that play out in the desert about 2 hours away from where I live. They're a single A affiliate to the Angels, so that was a big reason why I bought it. It has this really cool gray bill that is still straight. This is how I really like it. And the cool thing about the Hat Club exclusive hats, they come with this really cool hat pin. Normally people would put it up here, but I like it down here. I mean, it doesn't really bother my forehead too much, but it's a really cool hat, really good, comfortable fit. Again, 7 1/4. This hat I don't normally wear too much just because of how nice it really is. But every once in a while I'll break it out, and it's a really good fit. So that's one of my top favorites. So I'm gonna break the norm a little bit on the baseball hats, and I want to go to some of the hockey hats that I have. I'm gonna basically take out all my fitted hats that I really like. So, oh, actually, this was not fitted; it's a snapback. So this is an LA Kings Chinese heritage hat, and it's really cool. It has Los Angeles written in Chinese. In just the original, not the original, but in the main crest that the players wear. It has this is the only thing I don't like about this hat. It has the sponsorship of it's like this Chinese packaging company. I don't really like it. It kind of makes it a little tacky, but I mean, this was all just for advertisement's sake. But still, really nice looking hat. Very comfortable. Again, this is a hat I don't wear too often. I mean, once the hockey season starts up again, I gotta break this out and start wearing it more because it is a pretty nice looking hat. But anyways, this is an actual, 5950, purple and forum. Is it forum blue or forum gold? But anyways, to me, it's purple and yellow. It's the Laker colors, but it's in this really cool font. Many of you people have seen, guys from like NWA wear a very similar cap that's in black and white, but I really like that it's in Laker colors. And also it has the LA Kings crown on it as well. Very comfortable fit. 7 1/4. Used to wear this hat a lot. Don't as much anymore. I don't know why, but I mean, it depends on the season. If it's the height of hockey season, I'm going to wear it more often than I would an Angels cap. And then actually have another snapback. So I'm just gonna talk about these two really quick because they're basically almost the same thing, but for there's a couple of differences. So this one's a snapback. The cool thing about this snapback that the logo on the side is designed by Dustin Brown, who is one of the main stars of the LA Kings. It's not too much of a spectacular design. It's just his number with a crown on top of it, and then it has LA Kings written on the back, which is pretty cool. And then lastly, for my fitted hats, it's again same logo in the front that the team wears on their jersey. But the cool thing about it too, this one has two crowns representing their two Stanley Cups that they won. This hat I've probably, out of all LA Kings hats, I've worn the most, and it's I've already really broken it in. It's a really nice hat. Interesting though, the crest is not stitched. It's like this silicone material that's on there. It's most likely heat pressed on there, but it's really nice. When I first saw it and I felt that, I'm very tactile. So when I feel that logo, I was like, wow, that is really different. I gotta have that hat. So bought it. I'll go through two more hats because I know this video is getting a little bit long and you guys are probably tired of me talking, but I'm gonna talk about two more hats. So I'll talk about this one, and then last but not least, I will talk about my newest addition, which has become one of my favorite hats, even though I technically haven't worn it yet. But anyways, so like I said before, I was an Atlanta Braves fan growing up, especially in that mid-90s when you had, John Smoltz and Chipper Jones and Andrew Jones and, a lot of the great players on that team. This one is, again, just like my other Angels hat, is a 2020 Grapefruit League spring training hat. So it's the logo within the logo. So if you see right there, it's kind of like the hide tie of a hatchet. Some people may not like it. I kind of dig it a little bit. It's not the most beautiful hat, but I did make a couple of really good additions to it. The cool thing about these spring training hats, just like the Angels hat, it has the secondary logo on the side, and then since they play in Florida, they have the Grapefruit League emblem. But I also got stitched Ronald Acuna Jr. and Ozzy Albies, my two favorite current players on that team. And for whatever reason, even though this is not a Hat Club exclusive, they still sent me the pin, so I put it on there. So that was just pretty cool of them to add that, whether that was on purpose or not. That's cool. But what is a current MLB exclusive, and it might be sold out by this point, I got it the day it dropped because this was a hat that I saw at the New Era store in downtown LA, and didn't have the money for it at the time, so I passed on it and can never really find it anywhere else since then. So I ended up getting it because I have a gift card to Hat Club, and it's really cool. It's a Milwaukee Braves hat. It has the World Series logo from 1957, the only World Series that Hank Aaron participated in and won against the New York Yankees in 4-3. Don't ask why I know that, because I read too much and I'm a bit of a baseball nerd. But anyways, this is a Hat Club exclusive. You will not find this on the New Era website. You won't find this at Lids. You won't find this at eBay. You will only find it at Hat Club. And the Hat Club pin is proof that is so. I haven't worn it yet. I will plan on wearing it tomorrow so I can start breaking it in. Unique thing about this hat is that it has no Batterman logo. So some people would ask, well, why doesn't it have the MLB logo on it? Well, the original hats that were made for baseball teams back in the day did not have the logo on the back because there was no MLB logo back in those days. They didn't really, or I think it was either there was no logo or there was a different type of logo. But anyways, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very comfortable fit. It is a Cooperstown collection. If you guys have the chance and you you are a Braves fan, or even if you're not a Braves fan, this is just such a unique hat, especially with that side patch. You know, Milwaukee Braves 1957 World Series. It's a one of a kind hat, and that's what I'm going to be all about is having one of a kind hats. And so it really just depends on your style, your taste, whether you're a huge sports fan or not. Some people just wear out of style, which is fine. You know, I'm not those type of people that, you know, you have to be the fan of that team in order to wear the hat. It's like if you look good in it and it fits comfortably, then amen, go for it, man. I'm not gonna judge you here, but as a sports fan, this is such a beautiful hat, and I'm glad I got it. But anyways, that's all I'm gonna talk about my hats. I will post up a hat video every now and then if I get a new hat, or if I want to talk about just something within, you know, new era and what they're coming out with. Um, but I will be coming out with a video about different avenues of buying hats. So whether it's online or in store, and what avenues within those avenues are the best, and what are the pros and cons of buying online versus buying in store. So I just want to thank you guys. I know this video is kind of long. I didn't want to make two parts. I just wanted to get it all done with it tonight. If you guys please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I will be making videos at least every other day. Yeah, please support this channel. Please support baseball. Please support sports. And I just want to wish you guys a good night. And then please stay safe. Stay at home if you don't really need to be out. And stay healthy. God bless you guys.